Hey, so here's a video on the machine that you just purchased. Here's the controller. When you first start it, you just hold this button until this light turns on, and then it should auto connect. There's the battery percentage. I know we were talking about retroarch, so I'm going to show you some shortcut keys that I think will be important for you to know, and some of the stuff like for switching emulators. I know you were talking about like N64, so let's go to N64 and then we'll go to Sega. Let's go to Sega Genesis, I think was one of the ones you mentioned. So we'll go to Genesis, and let's see, for Genesis we have 1,133 games. So we'll go to, like, let's say 3 Ninjas. And one of the cool things is, like, so we have two options. We can go to Start, and then we can go to Game Settings, and then if you go up all the way to the bottom, per system advanced configuration. Here you have all the systems that you can adjust all the settings for, like universal settings basically. Like you can change. Here, let's go into one so we can see. We can change the video mode, the rendering. We can upscale everything. The rumble level, you know, the graphics API. We can actually choose like Vulkan, GL Core, OpenGL. Like if a system doesn't work, let's say the graphics are broken, your first choice would be to go to the graphics API and change it up, you know? A different graphics API might fix it if there's like crashing or the graphics don't look right. First thing I would do is change the graphics API. You could do the whole rewind thing. So like in some games, like I know for Game Boy Color, I like to go fast forward to speed up some of the scenes. It does support it. And there is you have to select the hotkey. I don't know what the hotkey is, but the Batacera site has all the hotkeys in there. Autosave load on game launch. You can choose to do that. You can take off borders, off of gun borders. It has a lot of options, but for the most part, the ones that really matter here are graphics API when something's broken, and we can change. We can change the shader sets. I usually don't mess with that. Where's the aspect ratio? There should be like a. But there's a deeper menu than this one, so I'll show you that one later. Let's see. I'm trying to look for advanced options. Should be this one. Shear scaling. Okay, so a lot, I didn't see it here, but a lot of times you can see like an emulator, you can change it. I think this one only has one. So we'll get out of here. So that's how you can do all systems. But individually for games, like most games are going to find that works. So maybe you have a game that will not work, or you want to change something specifically to that game. So when we're on the game, let's say we're at 3 Little Ninjas right now. If we hold down the X button, you have to hold it. You'll see all these settings right here. And here we can change the advanced game options. We're just changing the one game, as you can see up here. So we'll go up here, and then here we have our choice on emulators. So we can choose, and okay, so all these libretto, I don't even know how to say it, libretto emulators, these are all RetroArch cores. So all of these have save states, and that's the ones you can just hit a hotkey and it can just load the save state. So you have them all here. So you can choose one that you want, and sometimes some emulators, like you'll have some games that won't run. If you switch the emulator, it'll work. It'll start running. So you have your choice on emulators here, and then also, see, it doesn't have anything about upscaling. So here we have our save states too. So here, when you hold that button down, you can choose the save state. And it would have a list right here if you save stated while you were in game. So that's how you access the save states. There's deeper levels to this, So that's just like that works for this. Works for most of these systems. Now that I don't think that'll work for PS3. So changing stuff on in that same menu does not work for PS3 for some reason, and it won't work. I think also for Switch. It might work for Switch, but I know for sure PS3 doesn't work on. Here we have Thompson. So these are some of the older games like the 8-bit 1986. We have Amstrad 1984 with 2,300 games. 25 games for this one, not as much. Apple II has 2,300. Daphne 16, 3,200 for MAME. For MAME, you have to select the right emulator or else it won't work. Final Bernil, 132, 473 for Atari in 1977, 5,079 for Atari 800, 101 for Atari 52, 3,237 for Atari ST, 69 for 7,800, 170, 59, 112, 95, 259, 1,900, 8,217, 33, 77, 79, 140, 67, 185, 581, 152, 54, and then, you know, all these other ones. 87, 338, 2 games for this one, 5 for this one, 47, 892, 621, and so on. And then we have more older systems. 26, 87, 298, 386, 1100, 139, 331. You get the idea. Naomi has 129, 806, 527 for Sinclair, 2006, 766 for the ZX Spectrum, 187, 844, 403, 416, 789, 138, 80. So yeah, I mean a lot of systems. So I'm going to show you now like how to access the menu. I would always keep a keyboard and mouse connected. So if you hit F1, just F1, it's going to send us to this menu here. And this menu is basically where you control everything. This is also where you do if you have a game, like your games, when you plug in a drive, your drives are going to be all right here. You just got to find your drive. And then you got to just say, link it to the ROM, to where you want it, usually in here. You have to link it to the right folder. So here we have our systems. And we don't have all of them because a lot of them are cores on RetroArch. But here we have RetroArch, our RetroArch config. This is where we can adjust how to do our save states and all that. You can select the button keys that you want. So we're going to open it up. And I'm not too familiar with RetroArch. I don't really use it a lot. But you can load cores. You can do updates. You can, do more things that, I obviously don't know enough of. Drivers, playlist, core. Let me see if I can find it. I know there's a place where you can set up hotkeys. It must be under settings. Input, keyboard, mouse settings, latency. It might be under input. Core saving, change saving settings. Let's see what this does. Automatically make a save state when content is closed, which will automatically load. This save state load save automatically is enabled. Okay, so it has an autosave feature for states once you quit the game. So you can turn that on. It's off right now, but you can definitely turn that on. Let's see. Yeah, so you can turn it off or on. So if you wanted to just save, I would actually test it out before you completely trust on this thing. But you have the option here. Oops, I shouldn't have hit escape. And I think but if you hit escape, it won't save any of the things you changed. So you can't hit escape. I'll actually use a controller if it lets me. It's not letting me. Let's see. settings. Let's go to input. Retro pad binds. What device for input right now? Hotkeys. I think this is where we want to go. So here it's set up for button 8 on your keyboard. So if you hold the button 8, that's your hotkey. These look like they're for RetroArch though. Save state. Save state of the currently selected slot. So key F2. So you would have to hit F2 on your keyboard and button 8. So F2 and 8 at the same time in order to save a state for an emulator that allows it. You can also change it if you want to. I don't want to change it right now. So let's go back. So let's see if we can get it to work. Let's see. Settings, main menu. So if you don't want to save it, just hit escape, which I don't want to do, so I'm going to hit escape. If you want to save your settings, you have to press this. All right, and let's go to, let's close this window and let's try it out. So we're going to go to, let's go to Genesis. That one had a, we'll go to Three Little Ninjas here. And it does show this is a 16-bit system. And it doesn't let me skip. It's in Spanish. Oh. Wow, I don't know how to escape this thing. Sorry. Can I break it? Oh, wow. Okay. What? I don't know what killed me. Oh, there's spikes on the ground, I see. Okay, so let's try to save the state now that I got to a good spot. So we're gonna hit F2 and 8. Okay, so it did say it saves state to slot 1. So I hit F2 on my keyboard. Oh, hit escape, my bad. So I hit F2 and 8. These two. 8 and F2 at the same time. And now if we hold down when we go down to save states, there it is. Now let's enter that game. And there it is, there's the save state. Alright, so that's how that works. So now we're going to exit the game, we're going to hit select and start. And now we have that save state saved. And we can delete it from here, or we can, do something else. So, like I said, that what I've noticed is I messed with this before a long time ago. I'm starting to remember it now. But the only time that works is with the emulator. So you can't do it with like PlayStation 3 or anything like that. It has to be certain emulators. It has to be those Liberto cores. Anything through retroarch. So like if we go to advanced game options and we look at the emulator and we see these Liberto cores, then we can do it. And right now, I don't know which one it's using, but it's picking one of these, right? Obviously, because that's all we have. So it's picking one of these. So if you have a game that, let's try Dreamcast maybe. I don't know if that'll have like Liberto cores. Advanced game options, emulator. Yeah, so we have one. We have Flycast Liberto. So we can do it if we do go to Liberto Flycast. If we just go to Flycast, I don't think it's gonna do the save state. So let's see. Let's try enter it and see if I can save a state. And the good thing about saving state is that you can do it at any moment. So I can actually do it right now. I don't have to get in the game. So I'm gonna try it right now. I'm gonna hit F2 and 8. And it did save it. So let me get out of the game. It did save it. Okay, so let's try and change the emulator. Let's change it to just regular Flycast. Let's try it again. Let's see if it works this time. Because I have a hunch it's not going to. I got a new screen. It's really glossy, so you can see me pretty well in there. All right, so now we're going to do F2 and 8. And yeah, I didn't do it. So see, if you don't use the Liberto cores, it's not going to work. So this is only mostly for older systems. Let's see, let's go to PS2. I don't know if that'll have a. This one does have one. Wow, I'm surprised. So if you want to do the save state, you would go to the Liberto core. And some games will not work with the Liberto core. So you gotta, you can go into the menu and go to, into the per system advanced configuration where you mess with all of them. Let's see, it's right here, game settings, per system advanced configuration. Go to PlayStation 2. And see, right now I have PCSX2 as the main emulator. But if you want to do the save state, you would actually select Liberto. And it'll change the emulator for all these games. Unless you manually changed it, then it won't do it. If you've manually changed the game, it'll save your manual change. But this is going to change for all games except the ones you change manually. And PlayStation 3 only has one emulator, so we can't even mess with that. PlayStation 3 Plus doesn't work, so don't even worry about it. Steam doesn't work. PlayStation has Liberto. Wow, I'm actually surprised that all these have Liberto. Alright, so this is just a video. If you have any more questions, just let me know. I can help you out as much as I can. I'm not too good with retroarch, like I was saying, but I do know about Docera pretty well. So if you have any questions about using the system, let me know. I showed you the basics, the most important parts, like changing the emulator, which is important for save states, and it's also important for functionality. Some games just will not work unless you change the emulator, or change the back end. Oh, and I do want to show you one more thing. So remember how I told you hit F1? If you hit F1, we can go here to application, and we can see all our games here. We can see Ryujinx, which I don't really have running on the system. I have mostly Yuzu. And this is the main reason I tell people not to update the system, is because once you update, Yuzu gets broken. They've done something on the updates to break the ability to use Yuzu, so you'll lose it completely. Like, you won't be able to launch it. I've tried. The only solution is to start all over, and I really don't want to do that. It took a lot of work to get to where the system is at. So here you can actually, so PS3 you can't change, like I was telling you, you can't change anything on PS3 through the menu, but through here you can. So we double click it. We have all our game listed here, and then you can change your pads here. So if you want to, like, whoop, not that. If you go here and click on pads, and if you look right here, you can see this is the pad that's, you see how that thing's moving when I move? This is where you add pads, so you can add a player too if you connect another controller. You're going to have to do this if you add another player. And you have to choose a handler SDL, and then you get, from the drop down, you get to select which see, it says null, but I would do SDL. And then you pick from the side here. And then if you know it's working when this thing moves around. So if you want to add another player, you can do it through here. I think for PS3 you don't got to do it. For the only ones you got to do it is when you plug in a controller, PS3 will recognize it right away. The only ones you got to do it for is Semu Plus right here. You have to add a new controller, and Switch user right here. You're gonna have to, if you add a second controller, you're gonna have to do it through here. So you're gonna have to go through here. I'm gonna do it really quick for you. So we're gonna open Yuzu. You go to emulation, configure, and you're gonna see your controls. You can see connect controller, pro controller, DualSense. So you go to player 2, pro controller, and it says any. But you would select from your controller. And then a lot of the times this home button will mess with you, because it'll bind one of these buttons on there, and then whenever you're trying to jump, it'll pop up a menu. So you want to make sure that one's to give into a key that you're not going to use a lot. But yeah, when the controller works, it'll do that, So yeah. And right now you can connect more controllers. So only for Wii U Plus, sorry, Cemu Plus right here, and Yuzu, do you have to adjust the controllers. Everything else will auto configure. And if you need to change controllers here, you can do them here too. Oh, another thing you can do is you can also change individual. So let's say we're here and we're going to hold down the A button. This one doesn't have it. Usually you can do create pad to key. Let's go to an older one. Naomi maybe? So we'll go here. I don't see it here. Let's see, Dreamcast maybe? No, I saw it earlier, but I don't know where I saw it. Yeah, some systems will have like pad to key. I don't see it anymore though. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong spot. Oh, there it is. Create pad to key profile. So you can actually create your own bindings for the game. So like if you go into a game and you can't figure out the controllers, just go here and you can make your own bindings. And you can even do combinations. I think the combination for save states is hotkey and this one to save your game. I want to say it's that when you're in a game. Let's see, we can try really quick. Let's go back to Genesis. Make sure we're on. Yeah, it's all virtual. Sorry, my stomach is growling. All right, so we're gonna try to do we're gonna hit select and the south button and see if it. Oh, it opened retroarch. Okay, so here we can do it actually. You can go to save state. So if you hit select and X, it'll open the retroarch and you can save your states. Or can you? Access save state options. Save a state to the currently selected slot. And there we go. So now we can get out of here. And then if we hold down the A button, there it is. So yeah, that's how you do it. So cool. Glad we got that figured out. All right, this video is 26 minutes long. So if you have any more questions, just let me know. I'll update you with new stuff if you need help with anything.